In this video, I'll be showing you how to use the Revolve boss/base feature. This is very similar to the extrude in that with extrudes, you were taking a two-dimensional sketch and you were lengthening it into a three-dimensional object. In the same way, we're going to take a two-dimensional sketch, but when this time, instead of lengthening it out from the screen, you can see in this little preview, you're actually going to revolve it around some sort of axis to create your part. This is very helpful for when you have parts that are symmetrical about some sort of axis, something like a cup or a water bottle or a nail, something that's round, some sort of pillar. This tool, it makes it very easy, whereas you don't have to extrude some sort of cylinder and then cut away at it, but you can actually just create the simple shape from the beginning and revolve it around. And so just like with extrudes, you need to start with a 2D sketch. And so I'll sketch here on the front plane. And it doesn't really much matter what I sketch. I'm just going to do some simple shape here, and we'll call it good. Now, just like with extrudes, you do need to have a closed loop. If I don't have this closed loop, it won't allow me to create the revolve that I want. I won't say that it won't allow me to create a revolve. I can do a thin feature revolve where I select one of these lines as an axis for the revolution. But you'll notice it's not a solid piece because I didn't have a closed loop. And so that aside, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that. And I'll come back to this sketch and I'll show you what I mean here. You need to create a closed loop. And so I'll do that by closing these off. And now you'll notice, again, it's shaded gray like you saw with the extrudes. Now we've got a closed loop. Now we can do an extrude. Real quick, one thing I will say is some people make the mistake of turning that into that center line into a construction line. And you'll notice that when I do that, it's not a closed loop anymore. And so that it doesn't allow you to do the revolve. You do need to have all these not be construction lines. You need to have some sort of closed off shape so that you can make the revolved part. So I'll finish this sketch here and I can exit the sketch. And then I can do my revolve here. So it's right next to the extruded tool. You can do revolve. And you can just select an axis, whichever one you want, which I wanted that center axis, and it does all the work for me. All I have to do is just select that and we're done. It created that shape by revolving that original sketch. You can see there the blue dotted lines where that was that original sketch. Okay. If I come back in here to edit it, I'll show you there are a few things that you can do to change this revolve. For example, if I didn't want it to go 360 degrees, but I only just want it to go 180, I can change that degree measure there and you'll see and now it's going from that sketch plane around 180 degrees. You can make it go the other direction. You can use these different things to do, just like with the extrudes. You can go up to a surface, offset from a surface up to a vertex. But I will say you're probably just going to live here in the blind revolve, especially for most of the things that you do in our class. You also have the option to do two directions. So right here, we've got it going 180 degrees this way. Let's say I want it to go like a 3/4 circle. So I just select that that second direction, and I can type in 90 degrees. And so now you'll notice that it goes 180 one way and 90 the other way. Let's say I want to change the direction there. I can do that. And then I can hit OK. And now we've got that 3/4 circle shape that I was talking about. So those are some things you can do. Another thing that's going to be useful for you is knowing how to insert an axis, and I'll show you why here in just a moment. If I wanted to create some sort of hole through the middle of this, I could do an extrude cut through the middle like we showed in previous videos. But in order to save me time, I can just include it all in that original sketch. And so I can do that by editing my sketch here. And so what I'll do is I'll actually delete these relations here and pull it off of that center line. Now you'll notice it doesn't put a hole in there quite yet, and that's because the revolve is still using that line as this line here as the center of our feature. What I want to do is I want to create some sort of axis that goes right here where these planes meet and revolve around that. If it doesn't quite make sense, it will here in a second. So I can use this reference geometry, and there will be a whole video on reference geometry under Lab 5. But for now, I'll just show you how to input an axis. So hit it, come down to axis, and you can select two planes. And you want to select this one and this one right here. You'll notice where those planes meet, inputs an axis right there. Okay. And so that axis can be used as an axis revolution. So let me go put that above my revolve so that I can use it in the revolve. I can edit my revolve feature. And instead of using line 6 on our sketch, I can just delete that. And here I can actually select the axis. And so now you'll notice there's a hole going through it. And in fact, I'll just make this 360 degrees again. Now you'll notice because the sketch was pulled off to the side and we revolved around the very center, it creates a hole through the middle of our part. Okay. So again, those are some basic things that you can do with revolves. In the next video, we'll show you how to use Revolve Cut. Super simple, very similar to doing the revolve feature. And you can get some really cool shapes with it. So thank you.